To realize the unity underlying all life and live in harmony with this awareness, we do not have to quit our jobs, leave our family, drop out of school, or turn our back on society. Living in the midst of our extended circle of family and friends provides the perfect context for learning to see the Lord in everyone, everywhere, every minute. For in these deep personal relationships, we can easily forget ourselves, our comforts, and our conveniences in ensuring the joy of others. This is a straightforward way of reducing our self-will, which is the only obstacle standing between the Lord and us. In these verses, Arjuna has addressed Sri Krishna very appropriately by using two of his family names, Madhava, son of the Madhu clan, and Varshnaya, he who belongs to the family of the Vrishnis. The family has always been a symbol of unity and selfless love, in spite of the serious problems that have afflicted it from time to time. Arjuna's confusion over his family responsibility is ours as well, for we have let competition and self-interest tear our families apart. Husband and wife compete against each other, parents and children compete, sister and brother compete, even the grandparents are trying to get into the act. This competitive tendency has spread from the home to the school and campus to organizations, and of course to international relationships. It breeds distrust, suspicion, and jealousy wherever it goes. As our security increases through meditation, we find we do not need to compete, for the source of joy and wisdom is right within us. Competition has so distorted our vision that we're defensive towards even our dear ones, but as our meditation deepens, we see what lasting joy there is in trying to complete one another, rather than compete against one another. If just one person in a family takes to the spiritual life, he or she can slowly transform the home from a battleground into a citadel of strength for family and friends alike. This is particularly true when the woman takes to meditation, for she is in an advantageous position to support and inspire others with her selfless love, patience, and forbearance. Over a period of time, her quiet example will enable her partner, parents, children, and friends to grow strong and secure. My grandmother used to tell the girls in my ancestral family that it was their privilege to light up the home with their generosity and forgiveness. She showed them in her own personal life how everyone cannot but respond to such a woman, and how family and friends eagerly return to such a home. We should bear in mind that this concept of family loyalty and unity is not limited just to parents and children. Those who deeply care for each other's welfare are a family in the best sense of the word. And it is by extending our capacity to love and support to a widening circle of friends that we transform our life into a permanent force for good in the world. Anandamayi Ma, the great woman saint of modern India, whom my wife, Christine, and I have had the blessing of meeting, expresses this awareness of unity when she says, "The different organs of the human body fulfill different functions, some more noble certainly than others. But for the good of the body, they must all be cared for. In the same way, try to treat with equal love all the people with whom you have relations. Make a habit of this, and soon you will perceive that all humankind is as your family. Thus the abyss between myself and yourself will be filled in, which is the goal of all religious worship." Arjuna. Social chaos is hell for the family, and for those who have destroyed the family as well. It disrupts the process of spiritual evolution begun by our ancestors. The perennial truth expressed in the scriptures, which we can realize in our own lives, is that all creation is evolving towards the unitive state. Any sensitive person can appreciate the grandeur of this process. Just observe a hive of bees at work, or walk through a forest, or live with a selfless person, and you cannot but be profoundly moved by the way every aspect of creation can work with all the rest as a unit in perfect harmony. This truth has far-reaching application in our daily life. On the one hand, every time we violate the unity of life by venting our anger on those around us or by harming our fellow creatures, we work against this evolution. On the other hand, every time we forgive others, do what benefits them, or alleviate the distress of any creature, we contribute towards this evolution. By striving to live in accord with this unity, we bring about the fulfillment of all creation, which of course includes our own. But by going our separate ways, we obstruct the evolution of consciousness towards the unitive state. The unity underlying life is so complete and pervasive that when we inflict suffering on the smallest creature, we injure the whole. When we refrain from habits that harm others, when we take up jobs that relieve suffering, when we work to put an end to anger and separateness, we strengthen the whole. John Donne reminds us of this when he says, "No man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. If a clod be washed away by the sea, Europe is the less, as well as if a promontory were, as well as if a manor of thy friends or of thine own were. Any man's death diminishes me, because I am involved in mankind, and therefore never send to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee." There is nothing more important in life than learning to express this unity in all our relationships, with our family and friends, with our colleagues and fellow workers, with other communities and countries, with other races and religious groups, and with other creatures. This is the way we come to see the presence of the Lord. Arjuna. The timeless spiritual foundations of the family and society are destroyed by these terrible deeds which violate the unity of life. It is said that those who have lost sight of this unity dwell in hell. Arjuna is beginning to see the terrible consequences of disunity. We have a tendency to think of heaven and hell as physical domains located on some celestial map, when really they describe our state of being right here on earth. This is the practical meaning of unity and separateness in our daily living. We have a taste of heaven every time we forget ourselves in ensuring the joy of others, and we have a bitter dose of the other place when we think or behave unkindly. Violence, war, pollution, estrangement, and insensitivity to our fellow creatures are external manifestations of the disunity seething in our consciousness. Because we live on the surface level of life, we are often unaware of the anger and fear burning deep within us. It is only after practicing meditation for some years that we learn to descend into the depths of our consciousness, where we can observe these negative forces at work and put an end to their disruptive activity. Right from the first days of our sadhana, the spiritual disciplines we practice begin, however slowly, to transform our character, conduct, and consciousness. When the divisiveness which has been agitating us and making life difficult begins to mend, we get immediate evidence in our daily life. Our health improves. Long-standing personal conflicts subside. Our mind becomes clear and our intellect lucid. An unshakable sense of security and well-being follows us wherever we go, and whatever challenges loom before us, we know we have the will and the wisdom to meet them effectively. Unification of consciousness can turn the most ordinary of us into a spiritual force. This is the power of the unitive state that we enter in the climax of meditation, called samadhi in Sanskrit, when our heart, mind, and spirit come to rest in the Lord. Swami Ramdas, a delightful saint whom we met in his ashram in South India, summarizes this in simple, clear words. All sadhanas are done with a view to still the mind. The perfectly still mind is universal spirit.